Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Kansas Motor Speedway, where we host round number 6 of the ASRC Online American Sports Car Series. This series is broadcast live the second and fourth Mondays of every month, live here on Sim Racing Streams. We are in here for an action-packed hour racing here. Again, I apologize for being a little bit late. Had some technical issues with that, so I'm just trying to get my overlays booted up and everything. We should be on our way. Just a couple minutes remaining left in qualifying, and we will be on our way here for 1 hour 60 minutes around Kansas Motor Speedway. The road course, definitely a little bit of a weird combination here, considering this road course isn't really often run, especially with sports cars. So, anyways, guys, hope you enjoy the stream tonight, and thank you for tuning in. Well, folks, it looks like we got in here just in time as we are switching over into the race state. I'm going to just refresh my paints here. But we are switching over into
okay, guys, thanks for coming out.
The race. 1 second.
Please check the Facebook group tomorrow, as we're going to have to do some...
All right, so we are getting ready to get back, or going green here. So let's just get this field. And we'll run through the grid. Starting on pole tonight, John Kelly, Carlos Neto in second. Third, Curlin Andrew. Fourth, Michael Blake. The fifth, Kevin Ferlin. The sixth, Michael Simpson. Running off seventh, Dalton Alexander. Eighth, Pat McWhorter. Ninth, Philip Bro. And 10th, Kyle Young. 11th, Gil Gawk. And 12th, Tim Phillips. 13th, we got Quentin Young. Normally a HPD driver stepping into the Audi. Interesting move by him. He'll be starting 13th and 14th, Jordan T. Vlans. And that is your starting lineup for you today. Let's just take a look at the Q results here. And again, prototype, 3 cars, John Kelly, Carlos Neto, Curlin, Andrew. But DP always very well represented in this series. Again, Michael Blake leading that field on the pole tonight. And we have 9 Daytona prototypes hitting the grid tonight, as well as 2 GT3s. So Daytona prototypes, always a class you can see that is very represented here in this series. Which is interesting because it's not ran in real life anymore, but it is ran in the series. So we are getting ready to roll off here. Just 20 seconds until we get this race underway. Again, pretty exciting week here for iRacing. Again, dirt coming out, so that's probably why my service was so slow, because everyone's buying all the content and whatnot, getting ready for the big dirt release. And I just want to kind of throw it out there. I do not have a dirt series, league, whatever set yet in stone, but I would like to get one because, again, that dirt racing is awesome. That'd be cool to pick up one of those. But we are getting ready to roll off the grid here for 1 hour here at Kansas. iRacing.com, rough pace car leading the field out to the green flag. As 14 cars pull off the grid. And a very familiar face we're seeing up here starting on the second, Carlos Neto. Fast guy, he is always a contender in pretty much every single race in this series. I'm going to stop some volume a little bit here. But Carlos Neto, always someone you can expect to be up running front, so expect to see him up front in tonight's race. And again, once you're here in chat, please leave a like and subscribe. It means a lot. So make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for tonight's race. Again, the audio might be a little bit warped. I'm in a room with marble floors. I'm in a different studio, as it calls here, Sim Racing Studio, or Sim Racing Stream Studio 2.0 here. So again, I apologize if there's a lot of echoing going on, because there is marble floors, and the sound just bounces off of that, and it's a massive echo. But who knows? I can make it sound better. We're getting ready to roll off here for tonight's race. And the number 6, John Kelly, getting the field down in that Porsche here. Pretty long pace lap, very slow pace lap. The pace car will get ready to duck off into pace or in the pit lane very soon, but Martini Racing Porsche John Kelly leading this field down to the green flag tonight. And we are, pace car is off. And green flag here at Kansas for 1 hour of racing here in the ASRC American Sports Car Series. Let's fall back to our Daytona prototype start. Go that massive field, 9 cars piling into turn 1. That is the Michael Blake leading them through the turn 1. And a very interesting road course, and they have a lot of experience here. Again, especially just like out in the session. I mean, it's good to really get to see the track, but very similar to the Texas road course. And you know, you kind of got a little bit of similarity to Daytona as well with that massive right-hander hairpin. Definitely interesting track for sure to be running sports cars. Back to GT3, Quentin Young and Jordan Lance. Pretty far, and there is a DP. Dalton Alexander is all the way back there in the number 23 machine, a little bit behind the GT3 cars. Had the best start. Let's get back up to our leaders here, and that is John Kelly. Good face I've seen, but again, I did miss the Interlagos race, and for one to know that was a insane race, so I had something pop up, cannot make that race, but we are for sure on schedule to broadcast all of April's races as well. And this massive 24 race season through all 12 months of the year. Definitely a great series to watch, a lot of good racing. But John Kelly leading this field in the prototype category, doing a great job of it. Michael Blake, again, this Daytona prototype category is always putting in awesome racing here, and he is currently sitting up front, leading this massive field. Michael Blake's always a face you can see, definitely in contention. He runs every single race here, and he is just dominating. He had to miss the last couple weeks as he had some computer issues, but now it looks like those issues are resolved, and he is back out on the track. Something that I was reading in the Facebook group here for ASRC is that they've been using the apron going below the apron. So interesting. They are using that and hugging that apron. I guess as much speed as possible around this circuit. Pull back to GT3 here, and Jordan Vlansky has gotten around Quentin Young. Quentin Young only 0.4 behind, so he must have moved here in that pink 656 machine. But Quentin Young is definitely a force to reckon with, as he can always get back up to the front no matter what position he is put in. Quentin in the number 91 Backmarker Motorsports body. Back up front, John Kelly has broken out to a pretty substantial lead of 2.1 seconds, but Curlin Andrew and Carlos Neto are battling. Looks like Carlos has lost the position from the start, and he is now in third place. Falling off the pace a little bit, 1.1 seconds behind Curlin Andrew, but nothing so early on in the race, so pit stops to go through and whatnot. But again, we still have 56 minutes of racing, so a lot of time left through here. And looks like Carlin Andrew got a little bit of a choke there, and Carlos Neto got on him to claim that second position. Anyways, back to DP. Still a pretty big battle here for that second position between Michael Blake and Michael Simpson. Michael Simpson is a new guy. Here I haven't seen his face. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the schedule here to see what kind of races we got next in this series here. So we got Summit Point, Circuit of the Americas, Mid-Ohio, and Montreal. Those will cover the months of April and May. So again, that is a pretty interesting next 4 races. Excuse me, Summit Point, Coda, Mid-Ohio, and Montreal. Those are the next 4 races. So Montreal is going to be an interesting one. I actually do not have that circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see a race happen there. But again, this has a amazing schedule, guys. Many racetracks from throughout the world. Great circuits to watch some sports car racing. And this Kansas one is really nothing short of it so far. As you can see, we have a massive, difference between what you normally see here. But if I'm not mistaken, I do believe Grand Am did come here, but like a really long time ago. May have been their last year. Before they merged. So if someone in chat can correct me on that, but I do think that they went to Kansas. Now let's take a head up front back to our HPD, and that is John Kelly still leading the field. Carlos Neto is in second, but 0.5 seconds behind him. We got Curlin Andrew. Let's take a ride along with Carlos as he is trying to ward off Curlin Andrew here. This is Carlos Neto. On board with him of the left rear suspension cam. Looking at the bumps and whatnot, this track is relatively smooth. Though it is a newer track in real life. Yeah, Carlos Neto trying to ward off Curlin Andrew that second position in the prototype category. And 7 minutes in. So still got a lot of racing left. Again, let's fall back to our GT3. Jordan Glantz still has the lead, but Quentin Young is not letting up on the attack here. And Quentin Young doing a great job sticking with them here. Times pretty similar. Quentin was 3 tenths faster as he makes a move for first, a little bit of contact. I don't know if Jordan's going to be happy with that one, but Quentin Young's going to walk away from some damage with that one too. Looks like he's got some damage on the left side. Let's take a look of the onboard of Quentin Young here as a little bit of a replay. Let's see what happened from that incident there. Right along in the car with Quentin. Tries to seize the opening, and a little bit of contact there. Not the best way to start off this race, especially not in the early stages, considering we still got 52 minutes remaining up to this next race. You will retain the lead. Fall back here to currently 4th overall. In the Daytona prototypes, Philip Bro, he's looking pretty good here. I think 7th overall. This massive battle for 5th in the Daytona prototypes here. We got Kevin Furlan, Dalton Alexander, and Pat McCorder, all within about of a second of each other. So these guys are racing it up. Got a nice aerial view here of this battle for 5th position here. Dalton Alexander is in the middle in the white machine. Kevin Furlan's in the red, and Pat McCorder is in the green and black. Battle is heating up though, as looks like Dalton is actually starting to gain Kevin here. Should be seeing a move in the next few laps here, but you can really see the huge speed difference that you have to brake. You really have to brake really hard to get around this track properly. Massive speed difference. Again, I just wish I didn't have the issues here and could get in the session earlier and kind of test on the track here, because again, the spectator mode you can actually test in iRacing, and I just kind of want to get a feel for the track so I can kind of give it a first person review almost to explain to you what these guys are feeling out on track right now. Back up front, Michael Blake and Michael Simpson still battling out the Michael battle, similar to the Kyle battle yesterday in the NASCAR race at Auto Club. So pretty good battle shaping up between this lead for the Daytona prototype category. Michael Blake hanging on to that lead, doing a great job of it. Here's that the cameras do not like that turn, a little bit shaky through there. As looks like Michael Simpson trying to make a look on the outside, trying to get a run going into the first turn here, using that thinking to his advantage. But you won't be able to make it stick, but let's fall back to our GT3 as Jordan Flanks and Quentin Young are still batting out as the lap traffic's gonna have to navigate by. Whoa, 4 wide for a minute there. Pretty crazy to see that. That was Curlin Andrew, Carlos Neto, and the 2 GT3 cars all pulling it 4 wide. Let's take a look at that one on the replay because that was actually pretty scary here. 4 wide is actually insane. 2 lapping is again 2 GT3s up front, 2 Audis. You can see them side by side. Curlin Andrew sees the hole, takes it in. I think 4 wide for a quick minute there, and that was pretty interesting to see that happen. Like up front, 4 wide already. Never thought I'd see it, especially this early on in the race, as we are almost a quarter of the way through tonight's event. Pat McCord are currently running 7th in his class right now. Over 84 machine, as he is just running laps, keeping the nose clean, and just staying out here as we 10 laps into tonight's race here. Riding in second and trying to ward off Carlos Neto as they are lapping multiple DPs. That 21 car Tim Phillips, currently the last Daytona prototype on, or just was lapped. Let's see, the last Daytona prototype that is running looks like Dalton Alexander has retired as well. But we're gonna watch these DP or HPD guys soar through this Daytona prototype. We'll watch John Kelly do this here. Again, he is the leader right now with a 2.3 second gap, so a pretty decent gap up front of Curlin Andrew in that beautiful looking number 6 Porsche Martini Racing prototype 2. This battle for second position here still going on, but again, just a couple laps or so, not even that, maybe a few corners. We're gonna have some more lap traffic in the play, maybe not, as I'm looking on the view here, not really see the cars. Probably most of them are, yeah, we can see them on the oval, and they should be catching them very soon. Again, the HPs have a lot more downforce can go faster through this infield road course section, but on the ovals, not so much. Again, the HPD have similar top ends. Again, the HPD is still a little bit quicker on the oval section, but in acceleration-wise and whatnot, but not necessarily. Again, the DP is very, very close. Still can't see those DPs up in the straightaway ahead of them, so we're probably gonna have time to look at some of the battles here going in between. Close one I can see, Kevin Frill and Pat McWhorter battling it out for the 5th and 6th position here. 0.7 gap, pretty much the closest on the track right now. And falling back to GT3's big story right now is that Quentin Young has appeared to fallen off the pace. He is 9 seconds behind Jordan Vlans. Could have potentially had a spin or something that we missed, but Quentin Young is far behind and has a lot of work to do before this race is over with. And this gap that I estimated to be around the DPs looks like it appears to be extremely short. Again, but Tim Phillips is 30 seconds behind the nearest Daytona prototype. But HPDs are beginning to start to reel in these Daytona prototypes, as you can see in the picture here. Pretty much the gap between positions 3rd through 6th. Excuse me, no. 1st through. It's kind of hard with the software here, but I'm trying to figure out. So the gap pretty much is about give or take 15 seconds between 1st and 6th. So pretty big gap between that, or not the big gap actually between the field again, but Tim Phillips is 30 seconds behind Pat McWhorter. So that would make him roughly 50 seconds behind the Daytona prototype leader. So he has some work he needs to do, Tim Phillips does. But we keep our eyes on John Kelly as he is going to lap these slower cars here. A little bit of smoke, a little bit of brake dust. And John Kelly gonna make his move around Pat McWhorter, number 84. And again, like I said before, these HPs and DPs have very similar top ends as looks like John Kelly is just crawling past Pat McQuarter here, and Philip Burrow is next on the checklist for cars to lap. In front of him, we have Kevin Furlan. He's about to go put Philip Burrow lap down. And looks, able to locking up the brakes there. Kevin Furlan giving not the easiest time to get around him. And next up is Kyle Young, but he is 10 seconds ahead of these guys. So going to be a while before these HPDs need to put the DP lap down, and looks like they all get through there clean. As well as Carlos Neto, no damage. He's got one more to tick off. Looks like all of their HPs get around cleanly, and John Kelly is going to have, I believe that's Quentin Young's going to have to throw another lap down again. Quentin is 8.7 seconds behind the GT3 leader, Jordan Gladsky. So Quentin's still going to have to make up a lot of ground. Pretty much plateaued when it comes to the getting times. You guys are running very similar lap times. Getting within half the time of each other, their last laps are. So pretty crazy that they are able to run in these times, even with the damage that they have, as John Kelly puts them a lap down. Pretty good battle for fourth place in Daytona Prototype. Kevin Furlan and Philip Burrow within half a second of each other, and behind them is Pat McQuarter, and he is making up some ground as well. Talk about Jordan Vlansky here, and looks like ooh, big wreck. That looks like a tune in there just in time. Let's take a peek at that replay. That was John Kelly was involved in that. Looks like a Daytona or HPD accident and GT3. Yeah, this already does start and look sketchy. It's 3 wide. Ooh! Kelly getting some air there. Yeah, just too aggressive, way overly aggressive, especially 24 minutes onto tonight's race. That one's gonna hurt big time. And it's gonna give us a new leader in HPD, Carlos Neto, but Curlin Andrew is right behind him, so Curlin did spin, but this did give him the opportunity, or Carlos the opportunity, to catch back up to second place, and now again the lead with Kelly's accident here, and new leader Carlos Neto. So definitely a familiar sign we have here. Neto is leading up front, and you see that a lot in this series. Carlos, very talented sim racer, and he is doing a great job leading his field for the first lap he did. Haven't talked about Kyle Young at all tonight. He is currently sitting in the third position in the Daytona Prototype in the number 93, and he's doing a great job just keeping the car clean, and he's in third, and that's showing him. Michael Simpson, currently in second still in the Daytona Prototype category, doing a great job as well. Another new face here at ASRC. But Michael Blake, the star of the field tonight, with a 5.8 second lead over Michael Simpson. And John Kelly again had that issue, lots of damage on that front wing, a little bit on the rear spoiler as well. Not happy with that incident with the GT3 car. But I don't know if he'll, again, I think he has too much damage available back with the H2Ds, but he could potentially get ahead of these Daytona prototypes. But he did pit, it does appear, to get a little bit of that damage fixed. Again, I think his front clip may have just updated, probably got that replaced, but he is back out on track with that damaged race car, and that is just the unfortunate ending of one of the burdens of multi-class racing, is you have to get through those slower cars, which is GT3, and that 3-wide incident definitely cost him big time, where he could have just lifted off and waited, but over aggressive on both drivers' parts did take a 3-wide. So kind of one of the upsetting things about multi-class racing. Then Phillips still sitting really far back in 7th place in DP, as Kyle Young is going to throw him a lap down. So he'll be a lap down in his class. And John Kelly, again, going to be a little bit of an issue here for the Daytona prototypes, because, again, they're running very similar lap times or fastest lap times with John Kelly's previous. So that damage is definitely affecting Kelly in a negative way, and for that it's going to pull him down to compete with the Daytona prototypes almost tonight. Ooh, a little bit of contact, and going to be Tim Phillips around. You can peek at that replay, see what happened there. Like light contact in the braking zone, could have got a little bit loose or something. I was getting contact with... Oh. Like he just turns in and pushes up, and that's what happens there. So just a little racing incident, but he is back out there. Not Tim Phillips' best day, as he is sitting as the last Daytona prototype that is running tonight. And we are down to the halfway point of tonight's race, so everyone who knows and generally watches ASRC on sim racing streams, it is time for Crank It Up, where we listen to the engine cars. Now, I don't really have any fancy cameras this week, unfortunately. We didn't have time to set up a camera pack for this track, so we're just going to ride on the roll bars of cars tonight for about 5 minutes or so. Just listen to these engines purr, so let's go. But, before we go here, as we're just about to tune off from in here, we do have another little bit of an incident. I believe that was... I don't know who that was. Let's take a peek at that replay, but a little bit of an issue here. Looks like with some DPs. 21? Nope, wasn't 21. Philip Bro, okay. Spun out, lost about 3 positions there. Definitely not what he wanted to see, but anyways, let's just resume and go back to Crank It Up for about 5 minutes or so. Just listen to these engines roar. we are back from Crank It Up, and looks like just in time because Colonel and Andrew about to make a pit stop here, and so he does have a little bit of damage on the side pod, and I believe Carlos Neto, he already must have pitted while we were under the Crank It Up segment. And he's going to box in. And we are wrapping up with the last 23 minutes of tonight's feature event here. Again, the next race will be at Summit Point. I believe that is April. Let me just take a peek. That would be. I don't really have a calendar, but just pull it up here. The 10th of April, so I'll get this scheduled very soon, so you can hit the little bell thing on the video, and then it should notify you as soon as I go live. So if you don't want to miss any action of this league, make sure you click that bell button, subscribe, and you'll get notified whenever I go live, upload a video, anything like that. But let's take a peek at our GT3, because Quentin Young has just got in front of Tim Phillips on the leaderboard here. Quentin Young is scored as 10th overall. He is in front of Jordan Vlansk, and Jordan is 56.4 seconds behind Tim Phillips. And Tim Phillips is kind of the separator between Young and Vlansk, but he is 56.8 seconds back. Looks like a lot of damage on the right side of that vehicle here. And John Kelly is trying to rebound from his incident earlier. 10.5 seconds behind Colonel Andrew, but Carlos Neto has broken up to a substantial lead, and he has pitted, so it looks like he is in pretty good shape for the rest of this race. According to the pit times here, he was 15 or so seconds quicker than Curlin Andrew, so big gap there. A lot of time lost by Curlin in the pit lane, most likely getting damage repaired or something of that nature, and caused him to give up that lead. But Carlos Neto is going to run away with this one. Not surprised, because he is generally always on top with all these ASRC races and always coming home, in the top two. And coming down to the remaining 20 minutes of this race, as it is lapping down, and Carlos Nacho is the leader in HPD, followed by Michael Blake in DP and Quentin Young, your leader in GT3, as we come down to the last third of tonight's race. And looking on track here, folks, we have a crazy battle going on for 4th position between Michael Simpson and Philip Bro. Excuse me. Yeah. No, Pat McCarter and Philip Bro. My bad. So battle for 4th. Bro gonna get a little bit loose. Interesting, as Pat McCarter is gonna try to capitalize on that mistake and potentially get around him. Philip Bro having a little bit of a network issue. And Pat McCarter not enough to get around him though. Philip Bro still in front of him. Looks like his network issue has resolved, and these guys are breaking it down to the wire, as this is pretty much the closest battle on track right now, with a 0.4 second gap between these two. Now, McCarter has no damage on his car, and Philip Bro might have a little bit of crinkle. Actually, I stand correct, but I believe Bro's damage is way more substantial, and that's definitely going to lead him to be a little bit slower, and potentially Pat McCarter to make a move to, get something into this top 4. I'm just dropping everything at the moment. Everything's just flying out of my hands tonight. Yeah, we gotta go back to the old setup here. But again, this battle for the 4th position is definitely heating up, with just 17 minutes left in tonight's race. So if you just tuned in, just stick around and wait to see the outcome of this race. Is not necessarily in the prototype, but in the DP class, because this is always a close finish. And again, Kyle Young is only 5 seconds behind Michael Blake, and Michael Blake's the leader in DP, and this gap can be made up fairly quickly, especially on a track like this where momentum is key to keep that speed up and not lose time in the straightaways. So if Kyle Young can just hit his marks and everything, he could potentially beat Michael Blake. Looking at the lap times, Kyle Young was a whopping half a second faster than Michael Blake last lap. So it should be interesting to see if Kyle Young can make it happen and potentially come home with victory here. He is looking really good. In the number 93 car, he has one of the best looking cars out on the field. I really like that gray, white, and red paint scheme. Looks very nice. Getting back to this battle for 4th position here, Pat McCarter is not letting up on Philip Bro whatsoever. We just have 16 short minutes remaining, and we will be crowning the winner of 3 classes. Again, we got a prototype class, Daytona prototype, as well as GT3, so it's going to be interesting once all this is over to see who took the victory here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Take a look at the weather here, so we didn't have time to do it beforehand, but 65 degrees air temp, same track temp. Again, it's night, 55% humidity, and clear forecast. So a little bit chilly, and a lot of grip is definitely available for sure. Speaking of the top 5, again, we got Neto, Andrew, Kelly, Blake, and Young. Again, 2 of those guys are Daytona prototypes. Actually, 3 of them are. Looks like Kelly has moved his way up top, but we got 3 prototypes up front and 2 DPs sneaking their way up there. Michael Blake and Kyle Young. Peek at the race summary here. So 38 laps complete, and only 3 lead changes, but Carlos Neto is still leader. Has 38 laps around this Roval. Pretty fun track, actually. Looks very fun. I'm gonna have to try it out, 'cause it's very technical for how short it is. And it should be a fun little track, especially for the slower cars. MX-5, I'm looking at you. McCorder has faded off a little bit with a little of a choke when I was going through the weather or something, but that choke gonna put him back 2.1 seconds, but back up here again. Kyle Young bringing in that gap. I believe it was 8 seconds before, but he is running. He ran a little bit slower last lap time, about 4 tenths slower, so gaining and regaining time. But Kyle Young, you can definitely tell he is pushing this car and really wants this win with 13 minutes and 57 seconds remaining tonight. And wrapping up in the final minutes here, we don't really have a big battle. That matters. Pretty much everyone's strung out for at least a second. The closest we got, again, is this battle for fourth position DP between Pat McCorder and Philip Brewer. That is 2 seconds. So really not a lot to talk about as we are wrapping up this race tonight. Coming down with 10 minutes to go here, and Pat McCorder has ridden that gap to 1 second, and they are going to push real hard, or Pat is, to try to get around Philip Rowe. This is going to be one battle that is going to heat up very fast in the remaining minutes of tonight's race. And this battle is heating up as Pat McCorder, looks like he did get around Philip Rowe at some point, but 0.6-second gap here. I'm going to stay with the replay, see if I didn't miss this while I was. Yeah, I did not miss it. Alright, but Philip Rowe, 0.3 seconds gap with 8 minutes to go. Definitely something that can work out for him to potentially get a 4th place finish here. So we're going to keep our eyes on this battle as this race wraps up here. And it looks like Philip Rowe is... I don't know who's who here, they got the same paints. But Philip Rowe looks like he is going to take over the 4th place position here. This battle for sure is heating up big time, and it's going to get very interesting as we get closer and closer to tonight's finish. Just a mere 7 minutes away. But Pat McCorder is not going to let up here. Just 0.6 seconds behind with 6 minutes remaining. McCorder has fallen to a 1 second cap. And this battle is heating up for this 4th place position here in Daytona Prototype. Now that's the advantage of having this class with such massive numbers, is the fact that with the massive numbers you get massively good racing. But I know the other classes aren't that small, but are very small. They're actually really small. But this Daytona Prototype class always showing a strong field no matter what race, and it's always the racing is crazy, and everyone always does a good job at keeping their cars clean and whatnot. Again, except for the typical, bump and run, whatever, contact with a slower car, faster car, whatever. But in the end, I mean, these cars are great racing machines, and they just make great racing, as we're seeing right now with just 4 minutes remaining, and coming into the closing laps here between Philip Rowe and Pat McCorder. Now, I don't really know who can take it here because, again, it's just one move away, and especially with a gap of half a second, you really don't know what can happen as we're coming into the final few minutes of tonight's race. like Michael Simpson is getting into this battle as well as he is getting past, and this is going to be a 3-car battle as it looks like right now. But Simpson does have a lot of damage, and again, this is now the battle for potentially. This is a battle for a podium now, folks. With just 2 minutes remaining, there's going to be a few laps left, and it's going to be all over. And again, this 3-car trio, again, making some great racing. We want to keep our eyes on here, but we also want to give Neto his glory when he crossed the line, and it looks like Michael Simpson's going to push high, give up 2 positions, and lose that podium spot. And looks like Philip Bro now on the podium here, followed by Pat McWhorter. And this battle is heating up here with just a few minutes remaining, and we are going to be getting the white flag very soon. And looks like we will get 1 or 2 more laps. These guys will get before this race is over, and we will be seeing who the win is. And looks like Philip Bro's going to spin. That's going to cost him big time. And Pat McWhorter now going to take over that podium position, but Michael Simpson is not letting up. Michael Blake probably loves seeing this in his mirror, as well as Kyle Young, as these guys are just going to pull away and just satisfy that first and second place finish here. But this battle for third is not over yet. Again, we got Pat McWhorter, Michael Simpson. Philip Bro is out of it. He had a wreck, and unfortunately, his race looks like it's done for to contend for the podium spot. He will come home 5th, but we are just battling out here. But looks like Kevin Furlan also can be a potential candidate to take over 5th as well from Philip Bro after his spin. But I want to keep our eyes on this battle here as clock is running out, and so Carlos Neto is on his last lap. This time he will take home the victory. But again, Pat McWhorter, I believe is going to take the white flag right about now, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe 1, maybe 2 laps left, but this battle is going to end very quickly. And I believe we're on the last lap of tonight's race in the Daytona Prototype category as Carlos Neto will take it home. He will take over the win at Kansas here. Definitely a very interesting race. Again, not seeing a lot of cars drive at Kansas Motor Speedway, sports cars for that matter. We see the NASCARs all the time, but it looks like Carlos Neto, he will take home the victory tonight in this class. But before we miss anything, we're going to want to go back and watch this massive battle for the final podium spot between Pat McWhorter and Michael Simpson. But Carlos Neto is going to cross the line. I believe, yes, that is it for him. Neto takes home the win, but Michael Blake can come home. But Pat McWhorter and Michael Simpson, I believe they are still battling here. They might get 1 lap in. But Michael Blake doesn't take the fast one for that. And let's just see if he can make something work with that draft. And here it goes. And I believe Pat McWhorter will take the 3rd position, as if we can hear the fireworks going off here. And that is Pat McWhorter. Michael Blake can take home the victory in that class. GT3 gonna be Quentin Young, so congratulations to him, as he will take home, I believe, his first win in the Audi R8 GT3. GT3 category. Quentin normally runs in the HPD, but shaking it up a little bit different. But congratulations to Quentin for taking home that victory. Congratulations to Michael for winning in Daytona Prototype, and congratulations to Carlos Neto for winning it overall tonight here in Kansas. There's his car right there, and let's just run through the results here before we forget here and end the stream off tonight. So coming home first, Carlos Neto in Prototype, Carolyn Andrew 2nd, and John Kelly rounds off 3rd overall, 3rd in Prototype. Michael Blake winning DP, followed by Kyle Young, Pat McWhorter, Michael Simpson, Kevin Furlan, Philip Bro, and 6th, Tim Phillips in 10th. And 10th overall, 7th in class. That's where we finished. Quentin Young going to come home 11th overall, 1st in GT3. Jordan Vlax finishing 12th, 2nd in GT3, and 8th in Daytona Prototype. Dalton Alexander with an unfortunate crash, and Gilgock not even a start, and he will finish 9th in DP. So that is your unofficial results here from Kansas. Again, this is Sim Racing Streams bringing you every single ASRC sports car race. And we will see you guys next time at Summit Point in 2 weeks. So make sure you subscribe and everything, folks. And thank you for coming in tonight. Make sure you like and subscribe to all the other cool stuff. And have a wonderful evening.